See how 90s country icons have changed over the years. Some are unrecognizable, while others truly defied aging. You won't believe these transformations. Dolly Parton remains the patron saint of rhinestone country, famously joking that it costs a fortune to look that cheap. Beyond her 26 #1 hits, she quietly funded Moderna's COVID research and donated millions to literacy programs. Today, she still rocks her signature wigs and refuses to age, running her Dollywood empire with unmatched flair. Reba dominated the 90s with that flaming red hair and a vocal prowess that conquered both Nashville and Hollywood. After rebuilding her career following a tragic 1991 plane crash that killed her band, she transitioned into a sitcom superstar. Currently, she's taking over The Voice, proving her witty charm and powerhouse vocals haven't faded a bit. Shania Twain redefined the genre with Come On Over, the best-selling studio album by a female act in history. However, her world collapsed after contracting Lyme disease, which stole her voice, followed by a brutal betrayal involving her husband and best friend. She eventually rebuilt her vocal cords and now headlines massive Las Vegas residencies, looking absolutely stunning. Tanya Tucker was the original wild child of country, surviving a tumultuous, tabloid-fueled youth marked by substance abuse and volatile romances. After fading from the mainstream, she staged a miraculous comeback with Brandi Carlile, winning her first Grammy in 2020. Now, she rides horses and tours with a gritty, weathered voice that tells 1,000 stories. Patti Loveless brought a neo-traditional purity to radio with hits like Blame It On Your Heart, before facing career-threatening vocal cord surgery in the early 90s. She largely stepped back to care for her husband, living a quiet, private life in Georgia. Recently, she emerged for a spine-tingling duet with Chris Stapleton, reminding everyone of her mountain soul. Wynonna Judd transitioned from a duo powerhouse to a solo rock country force with no one else on earth, though she publicly battled food addiction and weight fluctuations. Following her mother's tragic suicide in 2022, she faced intense scrutiny over her own health during live performances. Today, she bravely continues the Judd's legacy tour, fighting through grief and vertigo. Naomi Judd was the glamorous matriarch of the Judds, forced into early retirement in 1991 due to a debilitating hepatitis C diagnosis. Despite becoming a mental health advocate, she waged a long private war against severe depression that the public rarely saw. Tragically, she passed away in 2022, just one day before her Country Music Hall of Fame induction. Trisha Yearwood exploded onto the scene with She's in Love with the Boy and became one of the industry's most respected vocalists. Beyond music, she built a massive culinary empire with an Emmy-winning Food Network show and best-selling cookbooks. She currently lives on a sprawling Tennessee compound with husband Garth Brooks, balancing arena tours with her kitchen duties. Lori Morgan was the 90s siren known for Something in Red and her highly publicized turbulent personal life, including 6 marriages and filing for bankruptcy in 2008. As the widow of Keith Whitley, she carried a heavy emotional burden while navigating industry sexism. She remains active today, unapologetically embracing her chaotic history and performing with that signature torch singer elegance. Suzy Boggess stood out with her crystal-clear voice on hits like Aces, selling over 4 million albums without succumbing to the era's big hair stereotypes. Unlike many peers, she avoided scandal, focusing instead on mastering Western swing and jazz influences. She continues to tour intimately and release independent albums, maintaining a loyal fan base and a shockingly youthful appearance. Mary Chapin Carpenter brought Ivy League intelligence to country radio, winning 5 Grammys with hits like Passionate Kisses. Her career halted terrifyingly in 2007 when she suffered a pulmonary embolism that nearly took her life, followed by a painful divorce. She channeled that darkness into songwriting and now performs stripped-back, orchestral shows that highlight her introspective genius. Kathy Mattea scored big with 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses, while bravely advocating for HIV/AIDS awareness when Nashville remained silent on the crisis. As she aged, she faced vocal changes that forced her to completely relearn how to sing with a new teacher. Today, she hosts Mountain Stage on NPR, preserving the roots music she always championed. Pam Tillis stepped out of her father Mel Tillis's shadow to craft the smash hit Maybe It Was Memphis with her distinct, soulful belt. A veteran of the Grand Ole Opry, she later joined forces with Lorrie Morgan for the Grits and Glamour tour. She currently writes for The Next Generation and performs regularly, looking elegant and sounding timeless. Joe D. Messina ruled the late 90s with high-energy anthems like Bye Bye, but her personal life hit hard lows with a rehab stint and a 2010 bankruptcy filing. In 2017, she faced a scary cancer diagnosis that forced her off the road. She has since beaten the disease and rides a new wave of popularity thanks to Cole Swindell's remix. Terry Clark brought a cowgirl toughness to the charts with Better Things to Do, famously refusing to ditch her signature hat for a more feminine image. She made history as the first Canadian female inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. Nowadays, she hosts the popular Country Gold radio show, interviewing legends while maintaining her rugged, tomboy charm on stage. Lee Ann Womack achieved global immortality with I Hope You Dance, but later faced backlash for performing a private concert for an African dictator in 2008. Turning her back on polished radio pop, she pivoted hard toward gritty Americana and soul. She now operates as an independent artist, prioritizing artistic integrity over commercial airplay. Martina McBride possessed the most powerful soprano in Nashville, tackling domestic violence issues with her anthem, Independence Day. She meticulously managed her career without major scandals, selling over 14 million albums in the US alone. Currently, she focuses on her Team Music is Love charity and hosts a podcast, while her vocals remain shockingly pristine during live sets. Deanna Carter captured lightning in a bottle with Strawberry Wine, driving her debut album to 5 times platinum status almost overnight. While she struggled to duplicate that massive commercial peak, she successfully pivoted to writing hits for stars like Kenny Chesney. She recently celebrated the 25th anniversary of her debut, touring with a barefoot, bohemian vibe that fans still adore. Chelly Wright scored big with Single White Female, but lived in terrified silence, knowing her sexuality could destroy her career. In 2010, she bravely came out as gay, which instantly alienated her from the conservative country establishment and tanked her sales. She has since rebuilt her life as an activist and author, happily married and living freely in New York. Shelby Lynn endured an unimaginable nightmare as a teenager when her father murdered her mother before killing himself in their driveway. She channeled this trauma into a rebellious, genre-bending career, famously winning the Best New Artist Grammy after 6 albums. Today, she operates independently, recently releasing a collaborative record with her sister Allison to finally process their shared grief.